Hi, and welcome to the Feel Good Always podcast. Here we talk about spiritual awakening, ascension, real stories of love, connection, and remembering who we are. All of this I share through lived experience, presence, and guidance that can help us all stay grounded, calm, and aligned in the changing world. So in today's episode, I'm going to be sharing channeled wisdom again. This wisdom comes through all of the beings that are helping us move into higher levels of consciousness here on Earth, and really right straight from my daughter, Kira. She was in a fatal UTV accident at 15 years old. And as tragic and as sad as that was, and all of the unexplainable, unimaginable grief that I went through, it also exponentially opened me up to this massive consciousness to connect with her and all of these beings. So today I'm sharing a channeled message from Kira and all of the angels that are helping us get these messages out there, because we're really living through a great awakening. And the message today centers around calm and our high vibration and what it really means to participate in this great awakening, not by doing more or trying to fix anything, but by learning how to stay present, how to stay regulated, and connecting and staying connected no matter what is happening around us. Really thinking of that, staying calm in the middle of a storm. Can we do that? I'm really glad you found your way to this space. I don't believe it's by accident. Please take a moment to like or subscribe to this podcast. It really helps these messages reach the people who are meant to hear them so that we can all really wake up together. So, as I said, my daughter, Becky Bradley, she transitioned in a tragic UTV accident when she was 15 years old. And since then, she remained in constant communication with me through signs, synchronicities, really telepathic communication, all kinds of really beautiful ways to connect to me and show me that we cannot be separated, that we are together through space and time, as we all are, no matter if we're here or on the other side of the veil. And she offers guidance, wisdom, and reminders of truth that have fundamentally changed the way I experience life, the way I experience love and connection. This information that I'm going to share with you today, it comes through me in a very specific way. I use a pendulum and a letterboard, and the messages are coming through letter by letter. So everything that I share of this transmission, she spelled out letter by letter, word for word, as my frequency meets hers. This is simply the way that we connect, and we connect in many different ways. You don't have to connect in this way. I connect to her in many different ways, but this specific way is how I shared this on this podcast. And many of you have been listening and enjoying these and letting me know that you would like them more often. So I will be sharing them every other week on this podcast, just these consistent reminders and this help that we are getting on the other side. And another thing I want to say is that I am now providing an opportunity to receive these written transcripts ahead of time, ahead of the podcast. People like that because they can kind of read them themselves, come to their own conclusions, and then see what I have to say about them. And I get so much beautiful feedback because we really do all of this together. So what I share here with you about the words that I'm about to share and the messages, I will share my interpretation, but I always remind everybody, find the pieces that resonate with you, not only through this podcast and this beautiful transmission that you are receiving, but everywhere in your life. Keep seeking and keep looking for what you are being shown, because we all take different pieces from different things. What I'm sharing today isn't meant to convince you of anything. It's for those that are ready, those that are feeling the veil thinning, those that are noticing the signs, those that are creating something new for themselves, that are craving deeper truth and sensing that something is shifting, both personally in your own individual lives and collectively. And so this message speaks directly to the times that we're living in, especially here in America. It reminds us that fear is not the path forward. Being calm is the path forward. And being calm, it's not an act of passivity. We are not being passive. Calm is active. Calm is what allows truth to land and illusion to fall away. And love, which is the only thing that is real, to lead. So as someone who has walked through unimaginable grief and found peace on the other side of it, not by avoiding the pain, but by fully feeling and trusting, I'm just here to offer you this hope, perspective and my lived experience. So in this episode, it will be an invitation for you to slow down, to breathe, and to remember that our high vibration, it begins in the body, not in the mind. And that feeling good, truly feeling good, is not bypassing, it's alignment. It's our divine right to feel good. So if you want to have more of these feel good always messages straight to you ahead of time, I do send those out. I am going to start sending them out through email and text. So there will be a link directly below. It's a really quick form. Just put in your name and information, and then you will receive either a text or an email, and you will receive this information. I'd love to share it with you. As we begin this message, I want to just tell you this transmission that it isn't necessarily completely meant to be understood all at once. It's meant to be felt. It is a frequency. It is a transmission. So if there are parts that don't make sense to you, that's okay. And if there's some kind of interpretation that I give that does not align with you, that's okay too. There will be things that stick out to you. I would love for you to share anything with me, either in the comments, or you can send me an email at becky@feelgoodalways.org. Please share with me. I love to hear all of the connections, and it helps me see more too, because I am always looking at my field, at my life, which is my field, how I'm being taught new things. So here we go. So when I started this message, it is Kira, but I always want you guys to know that it really is a collection of souls that is bringing through this information. Kira brings it to me, but it's bigger than just Kira's personality here on Earth. So let's begin. She starts off with welcomes high vibration. Feel calm. Use high vibration with feeling. Year of start using high vibration. So that's that first little stanza. Calm welcomes high vibration. So when she says that, she's saying calm is the entry point. That is the doorway, us being calm. Our calmness, it's not being passive. It is what allows this high vibration to come in. If we are like full of fear, freaking out, the nervous system cannot get calm enough to allow us to vibrate at this level to connect. So the next thing is feel calm. Our high vibration, it won't arrive through force or urgency or effort. It arrives when our nervous system is settled. And we're being asked to not just feel the high frequency, we are being asked to embody it. And it ripples out to others, this calmness, this embodiment of this frequency through the sensations, the feeling in our body, in our knowing, not through our thoughts. Our thoughts can help us stay calm, but it is really an embodied feeling. The next thing that is said is use high vibration with feeling. So again, it's a felt experience, not a mental one. Year of start using high vibration. So she spells that out. So currently we are in 2026. So we're moving into the year of the horse, and what she's saying is that it's the beginning of something big. Well, we know that. I can feel that. There's a conscious use of this high vibration in everything that we do. This year of the horse represents freedom. This year marks a beginning, living from this calm vibration instead of living from reaction to maybe chaos happening around us individually and collectively, that we can stay calm. The next 4 lines, I'll read those to you and then I'll take it line by line. High vibration carries high vacating. High vibration feeds high UTs. High vibration feeds great awakening. So the first line, high vibration carries high vacating. So our vibration rises, and as the vibration is rising, not only me individually and us together that are listening to this podcast, but collectively we can feel the consciousness, the vibration rising. And what is happening is old structures are falling away naturally. We are watching systems crumble everywhere, and it's uncomfortable. It feels chaotic. And that is part of the vacating. So when Kira says vacating, it's not that we are dying. It is removing what doesn't serve us anymore, what doesn't serve that high vibration. It's something that happens organically as truth starts to come in and online. There is a high vacating, letting go of this old paradigm, old belief system. So that high vibration feels good as we move into that, right? That's the feel good always. But there is this vacating that happens that can look like chaos around us, and or when our own individual lives kind of can feel like they're falling apart, but it really is removing the things that aren't true or opening us up to more to see. So this high vibration helps us release, right? It's helping us, and it's kind of, we're watching it on a micro level, so individual, and a macro level, collectively. The next thing is high vibration feeds high UTs. So if you're new here, UTS is something Kira would spell out, and I had no idea what she meant. And eventually my life taught me that UTS means ultra terrestrials. So what does that mean in short? I mean, I could do a whole podcast on that, but let's just think of like the beings that are helping us. So it could be angels, right? So she uses that a lot to talk about this energy that is helping us. She says high vibration feeds high UT. So our vibration, our calm, our being a part of all of this, because we're all one, so we're all part of this great awakening. Our frequency is fueling these beings. We're helping them, and they are receiving what we are feeding them, and we are receiving what, so it's like this beautiful us feeding each other energy. They feed us, we feed them, we bring it in together. It fuels the larger awakening. Then the next thing she does say is high vibration feeds great awakening. So we know that this is happening. This is what we're all feeling. And it can feel really hard. Trust me, I know. I was crying all day yesterday just of watching and feeling what's happening around me as people are surrendering and doing the work and letting go and all of that. Because I'm offering breath work now, and I'm doing that in person. I'll be offering that online. But in that, I'm watching so many people being willing to really vacate that or open themselves up to more. Like my friend Andrea said on the last podcast, we're literally breathing in or breathing through the ascension of consciousness. That's what we're doing here, which it's an experience that we're having, and it is our calm and our high vibration that is feeding it. These forerunners, the people that are listening, all of us that do this work together. So we're really part of the infrastructure of the Great Awakening, right? Of course we're part of it. And it's our consciousness that does it. So if you think about every moment of clarity, of surrender, of action that we take that is in alignment with this calm, with this knowing that we're this trusting, it feeds that collective wisdom. The next 4 lines, each useful high wisdom gives. Give a harsh vacating. Vacating feeds high vibration with what bams. Okay. So each useful high wisdom gives. So she's basically saying that true wisdom, the high wisdom, right? It disrupts like false structures, right? So as the vibration rises, what is not true is going to be revealed. We're watching things kind of be revealed, right? Things are coming to the surface. And I know a lot of us are like, wait, what's happening? But it's that wisdom, that vibration that's creating things that are not true, or that darkness to come to the surface. And then she says gives a harsh vacating. So harsh, that word harsh, when she spelled that out, I was like, oh, okay, where are we going with this? Harsh can really, it can reflect the tension that we feel. As our own individual things are released, and as the collective is releasing, it's these really heavy things. It hurts. But when we release it, it does feed that vacating. And sometimes vacating and releasing things can feel really abrupt, or they can be drawn out, but it creates like this clearness and clarity, especially when we trust, what's happening moment to moment. And she says vacating feeds high vibration with what bams. So what she's saying, bam means, she spelled out BAM over and over. It's breaking apart the matrix. So vacating feeds high vibration with what breaks apart the matrix. So I'm going to break that down for you. Vacating, so letting go. I'm going to just keep saying it over, letting go of false belief systems, things that are not real, so that we break out of this illusion of these kind of prisons that we can put ourselves in. So breaking apart the matrix, it's not like destruction, like everything's being destroyed. It's really just liberating to what is true, right? For me, I had some suffering. I had to like really, like, even the belief system that my daughter would die and that would be it, that it's over, I'll never see her again, or I have to wait till I die and to see her. That's actually not true. And that's a wild belief that I had that has shifted, which is, there are no words for it. You'll have to have your own experience. And I know many that are listening have had that like, really the truth of those words, separation is an illusion. But that's how we break out of this matrix, right? And that they're helping us, that we are being helped, and that we could trust that it's coming, that we trust that. The next thing she says is bam gets calm, calm gets bam. High, useful, joy. All right. So bam gets calm. So it's just a reminder that breaking apart the matrix is the calm, right? I'm very calm. I watch myself and I'm like, wow, well, I've broken out of the illusion of separation. I can embody what is happening here. You see that in me. And that does not mean that I'm not continuing to ascend on earth along with all of you. I am, but I am pretty calm, which is shocking to me, as sometimes I watch myself like, wow. But that breaking apart of the matrix, the illusion, it is a radical transformation that is moving through me, and it's moving through you and through the collective as we all begin to come online, and we're watching it happen. It's just amazing. And I'm so grateful. So the next line after bam gets calm is a mirror of that line, which is calm gets bam. So calm and bam are working together, right? The breaking apart of the matrix and calm. I mean, she just keeps saying the same thing. So the breaking apart of the matrix, it's not the chaos that's happening. It does happen, and it is part of it. But it's really this disruption that's happening around us. But can we be still in it? Can we be calm? And more continues to be revealed through it. And you would think that breaking out of the illusion would create chaos, right? And we maybe see that, but it's the perception you have around it. And for me, it actually has created, for me, a mind-blowing calmness. And that you can see in me today. People that are around me see it in me, and I see it in others. And we recognize that frequency of truth. There's something about it that rings true. And for me, I just keep listening and keep seeking that high vibration so that the next truth will land. So calm gets bam and bam gets calm. They're a mirror. Everything is actually a mirror. Everything is a mirror, but it's a mirror of the feeding of this energy. So the next thing is high useful joys. That joy is useful. Feel good always. Joy is biggest part of breaking apart this matrix, that it's our divine right to feel this bliss feeling. When we talk about people that have near-death experiences, we know that as the soul leaves the body, it's this experience of pure bliss, which is that love, that only love is real. And so joy and love, yes, how useful it is that we can stay and look at everything around us with love, with that's a part of me. That is the useful part of breaking apart this matrix. And I continuously am being reminded, I am not perfect. I can look at situations in the world with judgment. I could look at people with judgment, but I continue to be aware of my thoughts and remember that we're just mirroring each other, and try to come back to joy. Once again, not by bypassing, but knowing that it is possible, and it can sit side by side with sadness, that it's available, and it is really our divine right. The next line's high calm vacates each war on true you. Oh, I love this one. Great awakening gives calm, feed calm, ask high vacating, high trust. So high calm vacates each war on true you. We have this really high sense of calm. So we are literally like getting rid of this war on ourselves of things that are not true. Maybe it's the criticism of criticizing yourself. It's the shame of oversharing and being vulnerable and talking about the truth of your own experience. It's thinking that we have to live in a certain way, even when everything inside of us is telling us that that's not true. It's believing what other people are telling us instead of listening to ourselves. So this calm and this high vibration it allows us to get rid of that part of ourselves that does that. So it's vacating the war on true you, our true selves, which our true selves are pure light. We are worthy. We are enough. We are everything. We are already doing it. Everything that we need to. The Great Awakening is asking us to become the calm, not just to talk about it, but that calm can help dismantle this war inside that, that sometimes we can have, right? That there's like this resistance inside. There's like parts of us and a resistance to the truth of who we really are. And really, to be honest with you guys, I was doing this work for a lot of years, like being aware of my own thoughts. But Kira dying, there was different parts of me. There was a voice. There was my higher self, my team of angels. It was a knowing of, wait, is that true? Are these thoughts that I have true? So that calm it helps think anything that is not true, right? It moves us into that vibration that helps us dismantle that. So the next line is feed calm, ask high, vacating, high trust. So we feed it. We nurture the calm. We offer it to others as a field that they can be in, around other people when we are calm. If you are calm in your family, everybody will be calm. Sometimes I just stop talking when I can feel the tension, whether it's in my house or with anyone really, to try to like hold the field, right, of calm. Not that I'm always perfect at it, but I do try to hold the field, and then it ripples out without me saying anything. So that high trust that she talks about. So to trust whatever's happening. And that's a lot. I have my daughter that died and I still continue to have to trust. It took a while to bring me back to that. How do you trust when something like that happens? But I do believe she's asking me to trust that they will show me, trust that I can, I can stay present in this moment. So the calm that we feel feeds the trust that we can trust that we are going to let go of what we need to let go of, even when it feels confusing. I promise you, I get confused too. So the next thing she says is high vacating, vacating, vacating. High vibration feeds high vibration. And then I love this. Advise all to breathe, carry high vibration. You are doing it. Yep. So she's just saying that vacating, 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 that it's ongoing, and that we can trust and we're going to carry this. That I've talked about this before, that it's our high vibration feeding the high vibration. And that we're going to work together, that we're all leading the way, that we're going to carry this frequency with us, that we are going to breathe it. It's our life force. It comes through our breath. We can keep ourselves calm through breath, which I've been talking a lot about, breath work, but there's so many different ways to do it. Even if you need to just take a minute to breathe, that helps to keep you calm. It's not that we need to try really hard to be calm. We're already doing it. And she says that you are doing it. We're already doing it. It is done. And I love that. I love that I know the truth of that. And she says, give vacating a bam, give vacating a breaking apart of the matrix, high vacating calms. We're letting go, and it's so powerful. And the matrix is breaking away, or what we thought things were. So we surrender at this high frequency, and we come into the power, right? We have so much power, and we allow what needs to happen, and we listen to ourselves. And one of the last things she said to me is that we ask you read Yeshua. Okay, so she asked me to read Yeshua. And I was like, okay, so I do have a book called Yeshua Transmissions. And then I asked her, are you talking about that? And she said yes, but I felt a feeling that it was more. And so she's pointing towards Christ consciousness, not through something I'm going to read, but through this frequency of feeling. And it's not about religion, not for me. It could be for you, but it really is about truth. It's about surrender. It's about forgiveness, about oneness. It's all of those teachings of Jesus, Yeshua, and it's a feeling. And for every person, it's going to be something different. She goes on to talk again when I ask her, like, are you telling me to read that book? She says yes. And I said, well, what, anything else? And the answer when I asked her, what else are you asking me to do? She just said, bam. So again, she's saying, break apart the matrix, bam, that we are breaking apart the matrix, and that this Christ consciousness, pure light, it's a feeling that there really aren't words for. The next thing that she says is that quest each day for truth. I love that. Quest each day for truth. So be looking for the truth as an activation, and we find our own wisdom in the collective field because we're all working together. We really are. And we discover this truth in this quest, really our lives moving into ushering in the Great Awakening. It's discovered moment by moment through our present, through our own discernment of listening to ourselves, through being honest with ourselves. And it begins within us. We each find ourselves in our own experience. I always invite you to find yourself in your own experience because we're all having our own, but this Great Awakening is for everyone. So we listen and we know. And she says, quest feeds high wisdom. Start with you, start vacating, all goes. So yeah, she's saying start with ourselves, start with emptying what is no longer true, vacate. She's just saying the same things over and over. Trust the process, all goes. So that could mean like everything needs to go, like that needs to go, the vacating. And I believe it also means like all of us are going into this high frequency. And that she says that the UTs help break apart the matrix to give the breaking apart of the matrix a chance, that those UTs are giving us a high vibration. And then she says, feel good always, start now. And I love that. I love that she says start now. I love that she says that they are helping us, that we will start now, that we should feel good always and we should start now, that we don't have to wait, that it's already happening. I had somebody ask me today, so what are you doing with all of this? Like, what is the purpose? Like, what are you doing? And we were on a walk together and I said, this is what I'm doing right here, moment to moment with one person on a walk. What is this? What am I doing with it? In that moment, that's what I was doing. And that is it. That is it. It doesn't have to be this big, expansive thing. It's literally a one-on-one thing that ripples out, that we, her and I together can kind of share these things. That's how it happens. One conversation at a time, one sitting calmly, one moment, moment to moment presence. That is the purpose. So we can feel good in this. We can feel aligned. And all of that is our true nature. And it's our divine right. So I want you to know she's saying start now. So we can always start over and start now, start now, start now. So please remember that calm is how the matrix breaks, right? And that we need to feel good always. Thank you so much for listening to this. I appreciate all of you for taking your time. I'm going to put down in the show notes a link so that you could click on it and put in your name and email address so that I can send you these transmissions ahead of time. If you want to email me, you can, Becky@feelgoodalways.org. And then also don't forget, we have a Costa Rica trip that's coming up July 11th through the 18th. And I'll put that all down in there too. We are offering up to $600 off, depending on if you qualify. Everyone qualifies for the 300, but there will be 600 for some. And you can message me for more details at either on social media or at Becky@feelgoodalways.org. Okay. Thank you. Until next time, I love you guys so much. See you soon.